Hey, it's Sharon here from Content Sparks, and in this video I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside all the materials you'll get when you purchase a license to our course called Customer Lifecycle Marketing. This is one of our done-for-you, brandable, editable courses that you can put your own name and brand on and sell as your own and also teach to customers and prospects. So there are three folders of materials: student materials, instructor materials, and lead generation materials. Those are the ones you get when you get the complete course kit, our Blaze package. And I'm going to go through each of these, but first I want to go through the model that forms the core of this particular course. And there's a graphic in the student materials, which I'm going to pull up in order to talk about this. It's in the graphics folder, and we put them all into PowerPoint. So I'm just going to, and then we save them as PNG, but I'm just going to pull that one up here. Let me open this up so we can see it clearly. Now, the foundation of this course, as I said, is the Customer Lifecycle Marketing Model. And you can see that there are three phases in here: attract, motivate, delight, with engage in the middle. So in the attract phase, you're building awareness of you, your brand, your business, your offers, things like that. That's for brand new customers, but also there are sometimes existing customers who don't know what you do. You're also exploring needs with them, attracting them to you and your business by helping them see what value you offer, what their real needs are, the root cause of those needs. And then you're moving them into the motivate phase, which is where you're actually starting to show them the benefits and features of the solutions that make the most sense for them, encouraging them to take action and purchase, and making that process easy. You're also reconnecting and not losing those people who don't buy by retargeting them, maybe bringing them back to that attract phase and exploring needs and finding out what they really need, or just staying in touch with them so when they're ready to purchase in the future, you'll still be in touch with them. And then the next phase is delight, where you're supporting customers in implementing whatever they've purchased. You're staying connected with them. You're building loyalty through community and other programs. And you're encouraging them to go out and be that brand advocate, a loyal advocate, and do referrals and see what else you have to offer as well, because that will bring them back into the attract phase. And in the middle is that engage. You're always trying to engage your customers, your prospects, everyone who comes in touch and is interested in your business. So engagement really drives this whole life cycle, the customer life cycle marketing model. So that's an overview of the model. That forms the foundation for the course. Let me give you a look inside the materials now. So I'm going to go back up. As I said, there's three folders: student, instructor, and lead generation. Let's go into the student one first. The center of that is the course book. There's also an action guide and marketing plan template that people will use to go through the activities in the course book, a cheat sheet which summarizes everything, those graphics I showed you, an overview of the whole course in one graphic, and slides handout when you're getting that full Blaze package. So I'm going to open the course book and quickly show you that. So you can see there's a place to put your logo or any other graphic. There's also in the footer a place to put your name and URL. And then it's a standard layout in a Word document, so you can open it in other document software as well, but we've done it in everything in Microsoft Office. You can change the styles, the fonts, anything you want, but it's already formatted if you just want to put your brand on. Learning objectives. There at the end of each one, you'll see that you can see the graphics in here, which are in that graphics file as well. You could edit them in here, but if need be, they're in SmartArt. If need be, you can do them in a separate folder too. As I was about to tell you here, you can see there's action steps, key takeaways at the end of each module. Let's see if there's anything else to show you. This gives you a pretty good view. So everything is laid out nice and neatly. If I go back up to that table of contents, so you can see that it's broken up into different modules with lessons in each, so that people are breaking up their actions and not their action steps, not trying to do everything at once. So that is the course book. As I mentioned in the action guide, there are places for people to do those activities from the course book. Again, it's lined up with the different modules and lessons in one action guide, but you could break that up to make it separate worksheets instead. Everything matches up. And there's also a separate Customer Lifecycle Marketing Plan. So this is a place for them to summarize all the tactics, engagement strategies that they're going to do for each phase of that lifecycle marketing model that I showed you before in the graphic. So you could pretty this up as well, make it into a nice PDF. If you wanted, you could put it into a spreadsheet instead, make it fillable. So lots of things you could do with this if you want to use it as an additional handout or lead magnet of some sort. There's that cheat sheet, which is a summary, as I mentioned. So these are also a great handout because each one summarizes the lesson or module in just 2 or 3 or so pages. So you can break them up as well as little handouts that go with a module, say in an online course when you're setting it up. It's a really nice special download bonus for people to not have to go back through the course book to find out details. Their graphics I showed you, they're all in PowerPoint, so you can edit them. They're also in PowerPoint what's called shapes, so that if you don't have the latest version of PowerPoint or you're using different software, everything's broken up into easy to edit shapes. So I will open that quickly to try and show you that. See what I mean there. So this is typically created in SmartArt, but you can, when we put it into shapes, it's broken up so that you can move individual things around and be able to see it, even though it's not, even if you don't have that SmartArt feature. So closing that. Student materials as well. There's this overview infographic, which just shows you again where everything is, where you are in the course, and the slides handout is contains all the slides in a Word document with lines next to them. So if you're presenting this live, you're giving people something where they can take notes rather than trying to copy down the slides. Now, the other 2 folders, I said, are instructor materials and lead generation materials. In the instructor materials, we have the slideshow and speaker notes. The slideshow is all set up with speaker notes underneath and a few facilitator instructions. The notes come from the course book, so they're there as a guide, matching up with the course book. You do not have to just be reading this. You want it to sound like you. So the notes are there, as I said, to guide you. There's also a place, if you're doing this live, to remind you to ask questions, tell people their learning activity to do, their action steps, and again, if you're doing it live, to debrief any activity. I highly suggest you do all your branding on this in one and then break it up into separate webinars or videos or presentations so that people are not trying to do everything at once. I would go through and do the beginning bits, go through that life cycle model so people understand, and then dive into each phase one at a time to prevent overwhelm. All right, so that is the slideshow. As I mentioned, the speaker notes, we also put into a separate Word document so that if you prefer to have them in a document instead of looking at them under the slides, they're there for you as well. Implementation guide, I'm not going to open up. That's just some additional instructions for how to teach the course and also some recommended other courses you could use to build on. The evaluation form is a form with some questions you can use after you've done the course so you can get some feedback from people and always improve. Follow-up emails, you want to stay in touch with your students after you've delivered or sold any course. So we've given you first 5 that you can use however you want. Each one has some more tips about customer lifecycle marketing. You just add your own introduction, conclusion, call to action, those sorts of things. Personalize them. The research sources have some links you might want to look at to fill out your own information and knowledge. And then the rest, as I mentioned, there are some suggested courses and other instructions, even a list of contents of everything you get. Now the last folder is the lead generation materials, and that gives you a way of attracting students to your course, bringing them into your list so that you can then promote your course, but first develop a relationship with them. So there's an opt-in report to start with. It's called 5 Reasons to Switch from the Sales Funnel to Customer Lifecycle Marketing. And that's a nice short report that has those 5 steps plus some next steps at the end of each one, the 5 reasons. So you're giving people something to do so they can start getting knowledgeable about the life cycle and be interested in taking the course, and then you add your call to action at the end. We've also given that to you in a couple other formats that you can use. There's a cheat sheet like that other cheat sheet I showed you that has a summary. So this is a good handout at the end of a webinar, or you can rework it to make it a lead magnet on its own. And there's a slideshow that you can use to run a webinar on the topic. Just add some of your own branding again. You might want to cut up the slides more and add some images, but they're all there. I think there's about 32 slides, including a place at the end to add your URL and call to action. But there's each one of those steps, different things you can get people to do and interact. This will make a nice webinar, and then you can use that cheat sheet as a handout at the end to get people to stay. So those are the 3 options, the 3 sets of materials you can use to get people onto your list. We then give you 7 emails that you can use for following up when someone has signed up. The first one is a place to download your report. Obviously, if you're doing a webinar, you would not be using this. You'd use something to give people the registration link. But then there's 5 different emails with more information about customer lifecycle marketing, some tips for implementing it. And then the last email, the 7th one, is kind of like a mini sales letter. So it introduces them, reminds them of all the things they've learned, introduces them to your course, gives the learning objectives of what they'll learn during the course, a place for you to put in your own features. So if you're doing video or other different formats for teaching, then you'd add those in there. And then of course a link to your sales page and any scarcity information. So you can even use this as a basis for a sales page. We've just put it in that last email as well. Now the other things here are to track people to whatever opt-in page you do. There are 5 blog posts in here with different information. You'll want to add some of your own examples, graphics, stories, maybe rewrite these a little since they're going to be right out on the web. Or you could even use them as a basis for a short report by combining them, or maybe even more emails. There's an infographic that's related to the opt-in report that you can share on social media. It's in PowerPoint again, so it's easy to edit. And then finally, there are these social media posts. And what these are, I'm going to open these up as well. They're in an Excel document, so you can count characters. If you have a character limit on anywhere where you're publishing them, that'll help. But otherwise, you could put them on images. You can put them on Twitter, Facebook, put them on a nice square image for Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere you want. You could even use them as some of them as a way to brainstorm ideas for more emails too. And that is everything. So you have, again, the student materials, instructor, and lead generation materials. If you don't need all of these are in the complete kit, the Blaze package. If you only want to do self-study or for yourself, you can get the student materials in the Beacon package. If you have some course of your own about lifecycle marketing and you only want to generate leads, build your list, then you can get just the lead generation materials in the Flash package. But the best option is that Blaze package that has all 3 in there. Now, if you have any questions at all, particularly about this lifecycle marketing model that we put together, please let me know. You can always reach us at our support desk, support@contentsparks.com, or directly to me, Sharon@contentsparks.com. That's Sharon with a Y, SHARYN. And I'll look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Take care.